Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy Friday to you. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Okay, so I have another screen. I can see what you see, and I just need to get over here, and we're all set. Angela One Love, Navi D, Fabi Varen, Fabi Baron, Ruth Lopez, Kids and Door, Libby Hemming, Rochelle Baldreau, Flo R, Lydia Washington, Emma D, Brenda Gray, Veronica Quick, Margaret Rowland. Welcome, Teslin Dawkins. Who else is here? Okay, that's Brenda Lawler, Joyce Anderson. Hi, Yolanda Barham. Okay, wow, a bunch of names I have rarely seen and have seen for the first time. Very cool. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Well, I think the crowd is going to be kind of light because nobody's used to me being on this early in the day anymore. Hey, Sean. Yes, that Andrew. He's a sick old man. Disgusting. Phyllis Johnson. Hi. Let's see. Laverne Plunkett. Okay. Lori. Hello, Lori. Doris Heather Turrington. And Sandra C. Hello. Okay. All right. So, anyway, oh, well, I guess my thumbnail is a bit dramatic. To be honest with you, it's actually a repeat thumbnail. I didn't feel like being bothered with making a new one. You know, I don't use one of those programs, so whenever I make a thumbnail, it is totally my own design. And usually it's that thing I do at the last minute. Hi, Reba Henderson, Ruby K. And let's see here. It's almost 5 p.m. in the UK. Wow. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you guys are about 6 hours ahead of me. Let me see. Okay, really? So there is another channel. I thought there may have been some confusion with the what do you call it? The uh short that I made. But I guess I will have to look into that. All right. And it's called Royal Sussex as well. Does anybody have a link? I would love to see that. Let me see here. And two, I'm wondering if there's anything I can do about it. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, I see the short that I made. Um I don't well, I don't see it, but yeah, if you guys can find me a link, I'd love to oh wow, that's my channel? Okay. Yeah, I don't see it, but yeah, if you can find a link that would be helpful. Otherwise, I don't know if I can do anything about it if I don't come across it. But well, that would be interesting. So, does the other person sound a bit um inebriated and obnoxious like me too? does does the other person sound like they skipped their meds today? Oh man. Well, anyway, try to get me a what do you call it? A thumbnail. I'm not a thumbnail, but a you know. Oh, it's 6 o'clock in Amsterdam. Okay, I love Amsterdam. I didn't know about those three X's until I went there. Everything is covered with three X's. I didn't know if they were putting a spell on me or inviting me for a good time. I could not be sure. Uh, yeah, it's a bit early for me, right? Oh, it's called Duchess Royal. Really? Okay, now I thought I saw that one. I thought I saw that one. Let me take a look. Okay, I did see that channel. I did see that channel. Well, I mean, Duchess Royal, but okay, so far it doesn't look like they're using my thumbnails or anything. Well, I mean, I saw this channel, but and let's see. Wow, they got that many subscribers already. Now this channel is from April of 2022. So it looks like they probably dumped their videos. Oh, and this person is going to be in big trouble because they're using a bunch of copyrighted material. So, um, yeah, well, isn't that interesting? Duchess Royal is different. Yeah, it is different. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I've seen it before. I didn't find it, you know, identical at all. But I tell you what, they're using the what do you call that? The copyrighted video. But you know what? Maybe they're not monetized. As long as you're not monetized, you can use all the copyright you want. But if you monetize, then that's when you get in trouble. Okay, long as you're not making money off of it, I'll put it to you like that. But very interesting. Thanks for telling me about it. But yeah, I saw that channel, but I didn't get a chance to like really watch it. But it seems different to me. Um, yeah. All right. So let us continue then. So we have this more humiliation. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lydia, for the super chat. Um, we have more humiliation for Charles. This seems to be the talk of the town right here is that they are actually stripping the sovereign from the currency in Australia. Now, as far as I could tell, that currency, the only aside from the coins, perhaps the only thing that had an image of the Queen was the $5 bill, which is what they refer to the currency in Australia as dollars. The only thing that had the image that I know of was the £5 or $5 note. And so they're taking that away and they're going to definitely go with something that represents the First Nation, I believe is the proper name for the indigenous, is the first or why even indigenous? Why not native born Australians or the native people of Australia? But anyway, the First Nation, I like the way that sounds. But yeah, so hey, Novide, they are going to rid well, anyway, Charles's rubbery, pathetic face will never find a home on their currency, not on the bills anyway. Maybe a coin or two, but not on the bills. So lucky them, right? So but yeah, and I love the way oh, thank you so much, Elaine Parker. Thank you for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Now, I absolutely love the way Peter Hunt put it. Peter Hunt said, let's see here, and so it begins slowly. Like, even without hearing him say it, it sounds absolutely menacing and ominous, which is the way it ought to be, if you ask me. But even without the pleasure of hearing him say it, it just sounds dreadful. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Trust me. Um, but yeah, so it is a sign of things to come because at this point, actually, let's just say it started when the murmurings started before the queen passed away. So people have had this idea for years that after the queen goes, a lot of things would change. And of course, the currency is just one of many signs. And let's not forget the oath of office. There are a lot of people who want to rid their, Quebec for one, and then, of course, Lydia Thorpe and probably a few other people in Australia. Well, I think a little over half of the Australians want to rid themselves of the unelected head of state. And then, along with that, you have the fact that, what was it, 1999, they had a referendum. And with that referendum, they just barely escaped ridding themselves of the British royal family. Now, one of the things that saved them in the past was, of course, Princess Diana. Well, they don't have Princess Diana, obviously, to save them from themselves. And of course, when Harry and Meghan went down there, as we all know, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were incredibly popular. And I'm going to just be fair and say I think that there was a little interest in the Cambridges when they went down there because they took George with them. But aside from that, it is a big fat nothing burger. And unfortunately, they don't have the Sussexes. And a lot of young people that are going to vote, a lot of young people that will have the opportunity to vote, definitely are not um, considering an unelected head of state. It is a relic of the past that most people want to rid themselves of. So they don't have a lot of, how shall we put it? They don't have a lot of people that are going to back the royal family, or in particular Prince Charles, next time a referendum comes up. They just won't have that. So what it's going to be interesting, but I would love to see another referendum come up. Let me see what you guys are saying about this. Uh, okay, we're all good. Let's see. Verta Sanchez says, I saw that Royal Sussex and it was asking people to subscribe, and I am already subscribed. Why do I have to do it again? Oh, now are you talking about the short that I posted? Um, I posted that short because I mean it's a short video, and I thought, losing just like I think 15 seconds, and really, since we're amongst friends, that was just my way of appealing to some new subscribers for Royal Sussex. So in the future, now that I have a new monitor, I have the intention of doing more of those shorts. Also, I want to do some that, are kind of, how do I put it? Kind of more in the vein where people are like really sticking up for the Sussexes and really sticking it to the establishment. That is my intention. So there's going to be more shorts coming up, and some of them will be based on some of the videos that I've made already. And then others will probably be bits and pieces and remnants of other videos. Like, for instance, the one I did for Harry's uniform, I'm going to figure out a way to shorten that. And also, I want to shorten Dorothy Parker. So, yeah, there's going to be some more of those coming up. And I kind of had a feeling that that's what you all were referring to, was the one that I posted, but then someone else said, oh, no, it was the other one. But yeah, so don't worry about that. I mean, it's as long as you see, well, I tell you what, if you have any doubts, just click on the Royal Sussex icon or watermark like you see up there. Yeah, if you click on that, it should take you to this channel. And if it doesn't take you to this channel, well, then there's probably a problem there. But yeah, so sorry to alarm you guys. That wasn't my intentions, but I was just trying to bring some new subscribers to the channel. And of course, overall, we want to grow the Sussex friendly universe to combat a lot of those negative channels. So when it said to subscribe, that was just me trying to drum up some new interest in Royal Sussex. Okay, so nothing to be alarmed about. And then as for the other channel, I didn't see a problem with that the first time I saw it, but I really, really, really do appreciate you guys being so vigilant like that. Greatly appreciate it. And it's nice to know that people got you back. So on that note, Charles, let's see some of the other misses when it came to his image on currency. Well, in this case, on coins. You have the bloated digits that look like Broxworth sausages coin. That one was rejected. And then, of course, you have the exploding pin coin. That one was also rejected. They were trying to find something that would capture his likeness. Oh man. But as I said, it was roundly rejected. So, but just think. Now the oddest image of Charles, you guys may recall, this one is one that might tear at your trousers, and I'll show you. It's this one right here. There was no way that they could actually make a coin, mint a coin that would be true to his likeness and yet at the same time wouldn't cause injury or ruin a good pair of trousers. So this one, of course, was rejected. So no sausage fingers, no exploding pins, and then of course no no ears. All of those had to be rejected. So just think if they tried to make that on a postage stamp, it would have to be like some kind of origami or something like that. Oh man. Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here now, Anita. I'm glad you're here now. Let's see. Does anyone know the reason why positive content about uh, Harry and Meghan have so little views? I wonder if the firm is in bed with the platforms. Well, hate pays. The hate channels make a lot of money, and the hate channels drive the algorithm. And they are, how do I put this? They seem to be in bed with each other. Um, there is a community of hate. I mentioned yesterday that I went on that one channel that, let's see if I can find that one. Okay, let me remove this. See if I can find it. I went on that one channel yesterday and wait, where's that? That's oh, okay, yeah. So this is what I need. Give me just a second, and I'll show you what I mean. I was speaking about the one reporter yesterday. Now you see this. Look at those the names right there, where they were trying to send this thing about the moon bump to show you how crazy and yet somehow bizarrely organized those haters are. They were trying to send whoever this person is. I blocked their name so you couldn't see who was sending it. Well, they follow Kinsey Schofield. again, I caution you, Kinsey had nothing to do with this person's contempt and hate for Meghan. Although, because she appears on GBN, not only does she get this kind of information directed toward her, of course, the people that you see mentioned in that column right there, they are also receiving the same thing. Now, what kind of logical person would say that Megan was wearing, what is it, a moon baby or moon bump or whatever? But this person, I'm telling you guys, if you want your skin to crawl, if you want the hair on your neck to stand up, if you ever go through the feed of some of these haters on Twitter, some of them have excuse me, have blocked me, and I've had to use other means to see what's in their, feed, and it's hair raising. It is alarming, but they have a community. The elderly antique dealer who has a channel where she speaks about Meghan and Harry, the one who has a defense fund where she's taken in possibly thousands of dollars of viewers' money to set up a defense fund just in case something happens to anyone in their circle. The only way she's ever had many views was because of her hostility, her hatred for Meghan. So it is very lucrative. And that's why I say I'm constantly telling you guys, please support these other platforms. If it's a Sussex friendly channel, please support them. Like them, subscribe to them, and share them. I mean, but it's unfortunate that we're barely a part of the whole when it comes to Sussex channels. There's, and especially when I see a African American woman has decided to chime in on the hate brigade, and you can just go through all of their posted videos and you'll see the ones where they mention the Sussexes. All of a sudden people come out of the woodworks. It's like some kind of slime dripping down the wall. They just all kind of crowd into that channel. And oh, finally, someone with some common sense. Oh, finally, an American who gets it. And so, as I was speaking about Kinsey yesterday, Kinsey Schofield, I don't know where she was born, but she seems like an American to me that is based in LA. And so it is very much something appealing to, what is it, GBN, to have this American who gets it, who knows how awful Meghan is, and who knows how what a traitor Harry is. And the only reason why I've taken an interest in her is not because of this striking resemblance that she has to, uh, where is it, Tammy Faye Baker. No, it wasn't the Tammy Faye Baker um, thing that caught my eye, although, although it is something that I can't not look at, if you know what I mean. But the fact that, as you can see, I even underlined it, royal expert, royal expert. She's a royal expert. And the people on GBN or people on either side of the Atlantic that watch this horrible news channel, they accept it as being legitimate, as though there was some type of college course or some type of school of royal reporters, or that she might be an authority on English literature and history. I can assure you she's not. I'm picturing liberal arts school or journalism 101, whatever she had. But the fact that she is willing to throw an African American woman under the bus for the sake of getting a paycheck means that she's an expert, that she can say, the only thing that I'm relieved at is that at least she's not African American. God knows I hate to see another one of those coming where I have to make the big blaring caption, we got another one. And then I'm sorry to revise all this from yesterday, but since we're on the topic, I mean, take a look at it. This is an Italian version of the Vanity Fair, but in spite of that, you have in the red where I translated it, so the grammar's not good. Harry and Meghan Markle, who no longer receive invitations from their Hollywood friends as if they were actively soliciting friendship with everybody in town, let alone that they were even interested in going to the quote unquote Hollywood parties. And then further below, you can see, according to royal expert Kinsey Schofield, the Sussexes are now being shunned by their excellent American friendships. Or it's, again, the grammar is bad, but you get the point. After the Netflix docuseries and after Spare, the famous consider them telenovela characters, which of course means soap opera characters, and moreover, unreliable, ready to blurt out any private conversation. Now, let me tell you something. The person who wrote this article, who is supposed to have a good understanding of how things go in America, if you can build your financial portfolio on releasing a sex tape, if you can flip over a table or and throw a drink in someone's face on reality TV and become a billionaire or somewhere close to it, do you think anybody cares whether or not someone has a title or whether it's they don't care nothing about all that. This is America. Hollywood, as they love to say, Hollywood has always had colorful people. Hollywood flourishes on colorful people. This is not a aristocracy, it's a meritocracy. You work hard. If you can pay to play, you fit in. If you can afford this zip code, there's a code of silence amongst the Hollywood types, and they are very guarded with each other's information. And while you may not ever want to be in certain situations with people, you definitely don't shun them. So this is just ridiculous that these American Hollywood people are upset with the Sussexes because Harry wrote a tell-all book, which not is it's not a tell-all. He told some things, but he certainly didn't tell all. He told his truth. And the book is selling like crazy. Fiction or nonfiction, Spare is number one for a reason. People love it, they love him. And this so called royal expert is not telling the truth. I don't. I don't suspect they even care that what she says is untrue and ridiculous. The point is, they can get her on the record to say it. She plays along. It's like this. When there's a big event going on, like let's say if there was like another Treaty of Versailles, and all the world leaders were there, and they go into seclusion. Let's say the 10 wealthiest countries, the G7, the G8, whatever, they all go into seclusion and they're negotiating, and there's nothing going on. What does the reporters do? They interview each other. And this is what's happening because Meghan um, wasn't coming out to play. They couldn't smoke her out or shame her out. She was going about her business as she always does. So what did they do? They started making up stuff like this. Every okay, this time of year, I promise you, every year there is going to be the keening season when Kate is keening to do something big. And now that Harry and Meghan are in Santa Barbara, and to be more precise, now that they are in Montecito, where there are no leaks, every year we're going to have to go through this. And I swear this happened last year. Nobody invited Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan doesn't have any friends in Hollywood. They said the same thing last year. They said the same thing last year. So next year, this time, mark it down, Harry and Meghan were not invited to the Oscars. Harry and the one that really offends me, I don't care about the Oscars. I don't care about the Grammys. I don't care about any of that stuff. But Harry and Meghan were not invited to the BAFTA tea or luncheon or whatever it was. That offends me. That offends me. Harry probably had never been to one of those things in his life. If he did, it had to be something that he was interested in. It couldn't have been about the people. Um, and so this idea that, oh, poor Harry and Meghan, they're in that mansion with 20 bathrooms, 3 kitchens, and a string of Peloponnese and no friends. That's just untrue. But because they don't have anything else to talk about, because Meghan comes out when she doggone well feel like it, so they'll just start asking each other, what do you think, royal expert? Um, people think they're soap opera stars. Mark it down. Nobody invited them to the BAFTA luncheon. Mark it down. This is going to be a yearly event. Keening, Kate, and the Sussexes are not invited to the various red carpets. Oh, man. Oh, well. God save us from those people. So, Princess Kate, early years, busy work is even getting called out by Americans. Um, they have pushed and pushed and pushed to try to big up Kate. Speaking of keening season, now Kate has made a video with some young man I don't recognize, but it's one of those few times when she looks like she's happy to be close to a man, probably because it's not her husband. But so yeah, you guys, I promise you, just weather this storm. That Picasso like face is going to go away soon. I don't know how long. I figure she'll get tired before we do, but it's keening season. And I have to say, this has been the busiest keening season ever. Again, it's always the first of the year, so they can stack a whole bunch of, royal engagements in the diary so that at some point later in the year, I don't care how much they do, they never do more than the older members of the family. Even the Queen and Philip was able to outdo those two. So we just have to ride through the storm. I promise you. Yeah, she's going to go into hibernation, meaning that she'll go away for about 30, 60 to 90 days. Um, and when she comes back, maybe they'll be able to give her a little more symmetry from the neck up. But who knows what's going on with that one? But there's a story there. Oh, okay. So right here, it was one of the most searing images of the 20th century. Two young boys, two princes walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror as Princess Diana was laid to rest. billions wondered what Prince Harry and William must be. Um, so uh, this is yet another. What is this? Aristoc. I've never heard of that one before, but I have been sharing with you guys some of these postings. I don't know that I've ever just not paid attention before, but when I tell you guys that Spare is huge, it is the best thing that has happened in the publishing world, probably since was it Michelle Obama's book was the last big one, but the one that held the record for nonfiction before Spare was Barack Obama's memoir. And so, just like with Joe Rogan, with Megan knocking him off his throne of 3 years, well, now Harry has broken Barack Obama's record and a Guinness Book of Record at that for the first day of sales. So it's a big thing. It's a very big deal. And even yesterday, I shared with you guys. I never did figure out exactly which library that was so proud to share the book, but it's just like libraries are hungry for these books, and the waiting list in some places are very long. So, if you guys have not had a chance to listen to the Audible, the narrated version, I do believe that you could actually hear it on Spotify as well, but you may have to have a membership for it. So I I got the what is it? The temporary the what is it? The introductory? No, it was the trial. I got the trial from Amazon. So I bought my book from the Target because I don't like to give Amazon all my money. And then I rented actually, I guess I purchased the Audible version, but you could also get it on Spotify and wherever, they stream those audio books. I promise you, if you do, yeah, you take in the information better when you read it, but uh, there's no substitute for hearing Harry's voice. So yesterday, this was all over the place. I'll share it with you guys again. There is the Sussexes at um, Ellen DeGeneres's house, I guess. They exchanged their wedding vows, she and Portia. And Megan is behind the lady in red. Harry is on either side with the white button down shirt and jacket, looking very smart, chic, yet casual. Or is it casual yet smart? So, yeah, very cool. And it was nice to see them out. Please don't tell the tabloid media that they were invited or have friends because they'll find a way to try to make a mockery of it. But yeah, there you go. Um, but yeah, it was good to see them there. I kind of hate that, and it's not a pap photo, so I'm that's the only. It wasn't even a photo. This was taken from the camera sweeping across the room. But usually I don't share the pap photos like that last one where Harry was walking with his friend. That was not expected, so I didn't share that one. But this one, I believe it's either I think it was on a fan account for Ellen, maybe. I don't know if it was her account or not, but is more of a public thing. So it was very sweet to see them there, and you can see Megan is like so surprised because they didn't know this was going to happen, and she has a hand over her mouth, and Harry is like grinning from ear to ear. So very cool. Yeah, made my heart go pump, 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 as the bench says. All right. Oh, really? What is that? I'm not new. I listen most of these channels, but on the TV, so I cannot comment. This is one of the rare times I tune in. Uh, to give a thumbs. Oh, thank you so much, Gloria Gordon. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. That's for Church Nelly. All right, so let's move on. So I mentioned this yesterday. James O'Brien. Now, this is what I didn't know yesterday. James O'Brien, for a public radio show, again, when I mentioned this yesterday, I had no clue. He has the most widely listened to, or, you know, yeah, listened to radio show in Britain. So 1.3 million people per week. 1.3 people per week. And you know, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. And when he gets those like bigots on the ropes, when he gets them on the ropes, when they are like so incandescent with rage and they are trying to tell him off, and they say, I know you're not going to listen to me. I know you're just going to try to embarrass me. And what's so funny is they always know what he's going to say. And it's like they have some kind of sadomasochistic tendencies. Well, if you know that he's going to make you sound ridiculous, why are you calling in? But they are so determined that they are going to carry that Tory party line for everyone that they can't help themselves. So I don't know, well, I tell you, whatever gets you off, okay? Whatever turns you on, whatever floats your boats or whatever, that's fine with me. Just, you know, whatever. So that's fine. But there's people who want to call in and give him the what for, and he's just not having it. So I'd have to tell you sometimes, you know how when okay, I like to have the opportunity to just listen to some other content creator sometime, and fortunately, there's a few squatties, like for instance, Petal or Sherian, who can really, carry the conversation. Petal, of course, talks sometimes about as long as I do. So when you really got to get some things done, it's nice to be able to depend on Petal, and it's like really good information. As I say, Petal knows how to close the case. She knows how to prosecute the case. So yeah, when I need to be in my Sussex zone, fortunately there's that. So even though James O'Brien speaks about some things that are not directly related to me, and I'm still interested in Brexit and stuff like that because I really feel hurt for the unfortunate people that are being devastated by that referendum that was predicated on a lie. I mean, it's just like one of those things where you wish you could go back and undo something before it goes terribly wrong. And that is one of those situations. So I really feel sad for people who thought that they were getting one thing, oh, more access to the NHS, I'll have that, only to find out that they were being sold a bill of goods. And James O'Brien has been relentlessly digging in on these people to set the story straight, to call them out. And there's even some callers that call in, and they're just like, no, it's not wrong. It's just hasn't been given a good chance, and they find every excuse in the world why they feel justified in their vote. Well, you know what? Good luck with that one. Meanwhile, for us in this real world, so I am going to share with you one of my favorite James O'Brien's. I had just dug it out not long ago, and let me see if I can grab this for you. Uh, huh. Well, here I go with my interesting labeling process. Oh, you know what? I think I'm better at it this time. Give me a second. But yeah, okay. All right. And so I think I got it. Wait. Don't nobody help me. I think I got this. Uh, yes. I got it. Don't nobody help me. I think I got this. Okay. Oh God, I hope this is right.
Here's what I think is happening, right? If I say Royal Military Service to you, then partly depending upon your age, but generally speaking, the first person you would think of is Prince Harry. You would recall, for example, that footage of him when he was being interviewed on telly and an alarm went off, I think at Camp Bastion in Afghanistan, and he tore off the microphone and legged it. It made me go weak at the knees. It was quite a beautiful moment, actually. And again, I don't want to have a big conversation about militarism or indeed Afghanistan in particular, which is in the news for very different reasons today. But if and again, if you've served, you can set me straight on this. But he, to me, seemed like a proper soldier. All right. And he was in the thick of it. He wasn't at arm's length. I think Prince Andrew's service in the Falklands as a helicopter pilot was the real deal, actually. But he didn't rise to admiral through his quality of military service. Poor old Prince Edward had a crack at joining the Royal Marines. Didn't work out very well for him. I don't think Princess Anne did anything, and Prince William essentially flew search and rescue helicopters in Wales, albeit under the auspices of the RAF. So I say military service to you in April 2021. Royal Military Service, who do you think of first? Yeah, exactly. It's Prince Harry, right? So how ridiculous would it have looked if he was the only one there not in a uniform? I want to dress up as an admiral, Mummy, said Prince Andrew. Oh, Andrew, please sit down, said Her Majesty the Queen. I am as qualified to speculate upon that conversation having occurred as any of the people who will be getting paid a few quid to pop up on your telly this weekend and share their royal expert insights. That's why it's happened. Because the Queen has surveyed, in her wisdom, this strange state of affairs, and she has concluded that it would just look daft for the only member of the royal family that people automatically associate with the army to be the only member of the royal family not in a military uniform at Prince Philip's funeral.
Okay, so there you have it. And that was, of course, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. That, of course, was in reference to Philip's funeral and that first round of uniform humiliation where they were trying to embarrass Harry as much as possible. And of course, James O'Brien decided, okay, I need to call them out on this. And it just made a lot of sense. And yes, it didn't move the dial at all in terms of Harry being in a uniform that day. But the thing is, like he said, the Queen said, you know what? Nobody's wearing a uniform. And who knows, that may have been her last real decision that she's ever made was the uniform thing before she was handled by the courtiers. But, you know, I'm not going to get into that one again, but it really does make me wonder. But yeah, so there you have it. All right, so here you go. Speaking of Andrew, it seems like this glutton for punishment, matter of fact, is glutton for just about anything free, wants to have at it again. Now, this, I think, is just about recovering a reputation. I don't suspect they actually look at those teeth, you guys. Look at his teeth. I swear I didn't do anything to this photo. Um, I didn't. Now, either he's been eating Garrett's popcorn, or I don't know what he's been doing. But I swear I didn't do anything to this photo. Uh, uh, but yeah, so I don't suspect this is going to go anywhere. Thank you, Louise. Is it Narcissus? Happy Friday to you too. I don't suppose this is going to go anywhere. I just think this is a little vanity project for him because he wants an opportunity to try to get back into royal duty or whatever. And supposedly he has money from his mummy, an unspecified amount. And as you know, whereas before the wheels of the senior royals would have been a matter of public record, for quite a few years now, they have been locking them up in a vault for 90 years or whatever it is. And they, said that the Queen's will, I'm sorry, not the Queen, but Philip's will was locked away because they thought it would do harm to the Queen if we found out why he had 30 million pounds and if he was supporting another household, so to speak. Um, the household that he was making his way from when he drove across that intersection and the car became jettisoned and catapulted across the lane and smashed into another car and broke that woman's arm. Remember that one? Remember that woman got her arm broken and poor Philip was hanging upside down in the car when the authorities rescued him? And still, they had, with all of that, the car became airborne. A casual observer would have thought they were doing a remake of the Dukes of Hazzard, or in this case, the Archduke of Hazzard. Or it really was a Duke, wasn't it? Speaking of Dukes of Hazzard, maybe he thought, when you get that old and your mind starts slipping, maybe he thought he was one of the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm gonna get those Duke boys. Isn't that what Boss Hog was? That his name, Boss Hog? I'm gonna get those Duke boys. Well, anyway, maybe Philip thought he was a Duke of Hazzard and jumped across that intersection. And the lady said, with her arm in a sling, that they didn't even reach out to her until after she embarrassed them publicly. But yeah, they were trying to do that, never explain, never complain, and never admit guilt. But yeah, so anyway, how did we get on that subject? One of my favorites. So I hope that there is a public deposition of some sort. I hope. Now, see, this is the thing. What jurisdiction would they be able to prosecute this? If she made her case in a New York court, where would he have to go? Could he do it from the UK? And wouldn't there be a conflict of interest since the court is in his brother's name, the Crown Court? Or would he go to New York, where he would face an American district attorney, who, of course, was not so good to him the first time around? Where exactly would this take place? Would he go to Australia, where they already want to get rid of the royal family? Which court? Which court might they take this to? I hope he does go to court. I hope he does try to depend on that superior breeding of his, like he did with this car wreck interview, where he said, the thing is, there's a very peculiar anomaly that I have. At that time, I couldn't sweat. I was unable to sweat. Really? Really? That is where you want to, that's the hill you want to die on, is that you don't sweat. Okay. Really? And what's so sad is they said that it was either Beatrice or Eugenie that told him, why don't you just get in front of the camera and tell your side of the story? Now, that's just the dumbest thing anybody ever said, since some drunk woke up in the hospital and the last thing he said was, watch this and hold my beer. And then next thing you know, he's waking up in the hospital. This is the equivalent of watch this. This is the equivalent. This is the royal equivalent of watch this, hold my beer. And then next thing you know, he's in the middle of a train wreck interview. I don't know which daughter, or if it was both, that told him to do that. And maybe which was the one that was in Westminster Abbey crying that day. Do you remember when he walked the Queen in? And I think it was Beatrice. Beatrice had her face buried in the program. You couldn't tell if she was laughing or crying. You couldn't tell if she was laughing or crying. And he's like, walking in there like a vicious bowl of jello. Oh my God. I tell you, if I could, I should go back and try to find that again. But she just buried her face in the program. I don't know if she was embarrassed, laughing, or crying, or maybe it was a little of all. But if she was crying, well, now we know who told him, watch this, hold my beer interview. Hey, watch this, hold my beer. And the next thing you know, you're gaining your conscience back in the hospital. Of course, if you remember how close they were to, the perp there. I mean, look at that. They are having a costume party for one of those birthdays. What a lovely fed family. Well, it was because of friends like Weinstein and Epstein. Those are the reasons why they were able to have parties like that. And then right here, you can see as though he's in contemplation, trying to figure out, how can I get back in the limelight? How can I take my rightful place, as a prince of the realm, rather than hiding in the shadows and occasionally going out for a horse ride on Mummy's as well, on Charles's estate now. Let me see. Prince Android is too vain to realize that he needs to leave well enough alone. Going after Virginia isn't going to go down well for him. He shouldn't cooperate. He should have cooperated rather with the FBI when he had a chance to. Well, cookies and cream, I don't know if that would have been helpful, because if you consider this, if you consider this, maybe that would have been a bad idea. I mean, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. In spite of all that blue blood and superior breeding, you would never know it taking a look at him. Let me see here. And so back to this illustration again. This is what it really comes down to. They try to make the Sussexes feel ashamed for speaking their truth, but it really doesn't speak well for the public that they would be willing to accept him and take him back. But it appears like eventually he'll be back on track to public life soon, Because if you look at it like this, once they don't have the Sussexes to pick on, let's say if for whatever reason that topic is suddenly off limits because of some of these court engagements coming up, or if for some reason the public becomes so exhausted of all of this bullying from the press, they could always turn their gaze back to him again. I mean, it's not like he's not used to it. Lex says, knowing about Camilla, anyone else thinks that she started the M can't stop cradling her. Oh, you're talking about in the church when Camilla was holding her stomach and then turned and said something to Kate. You think that's where it started? I don't know, but you know what? There is an excellent chance that that's exactly what happened. There is an excellent chance that that's exactly what happened. I mean, it's hard to say, but it seems as though she was in close quarters. That is, Camilla seems to be in close quarters with so many people in the tabloid press. And of course, the spin doctor that she had at one time, I don't know whatever happened to him or if he had still been around for any of it. But yeah, I mean, it was literally a conspiracy, the very same type of conspiracy that they used against Princess Diana. The idea that they would fill the headlines of their papers with, oh, she can't stop touching her stomach. You know, something that is just so natural for an expecting mother to do. And they want to take that away from her and even try to shame her and humiliate her about it. So, what a twisted, industry, the tabloid press. Anyway, thank you so much, Legs. Got a super chat from Sean. The Queen says, wait, let me get this right. Okay, I'm almost there. Wait for it. I, Queen Elizabeth, the second ruler of the United Kingdom, and all control top pantyhose. Oh, you snuck up on me with that one. Do hereby declare that Andrew has to pay me back. Because Will and Kate lost half the Commonwealth. Camilla, you've been warned. Oh, wow, you snuck on me with that one. But why not? Why not? It's been a while. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, that's that little reflex you get when well, anyway, um, from that thing that he's never done, right? Okay. So the only uniform Andrew should be allowed to wear, that's the uniform like right there. May he walk around looking like the Hamburglar's cousin. And then right here, this is one of those things that may prove to be a little troubling. Oh, Marilyn King, you're at work, huh? This is what may prove to be a bit troubling is that, as you can see the back of a Kodak paper, which, of course, the front of it, you can see the image of Andrew, the sick old man. And of course, it was printed at Walgreens. So they tried to get away with this. Oh, that's just a picture of a picture. Well, there is unimpeachable evidence. And of all places to find this unimpeachable evidence, I mean, it's kind of hard to fake. And you know what else? If there is a photo that is printed on Kodak paper, well, that means that most likely there is a negative somewhere. So whoever uh, developed this photo, they wanted it back fast. As you can see, it was a 1 hour process. So, duh, duh. I think we got you, boo. Duh. So it's just like the Sussex Squad Detective Agency. The Sussex Squad always have receipts. And so does whoever this interested party is who seem to have a receipt. So they got you, boo. So if I was you, I would save the legal costs because I just don't think it's going to help you at all. But you know what they say, pride cometh before the fall. And of course, even a dog can clearly see that this is part of a much greater conspiracy, right? Sometimes dogs can't say it with words. You know, they could, howl and stuff like that. But a really smart dog like this one, if you can't say it, just spell it out. If you just can't say it, then just spell it out. That's all. That's all you got to do is spell it out. There it is. And oh man. All right, you guys. Guess what? There's 6 more weeks until spring. The groundhog, which bears a striking resemblance to Dan Wooten, the groundhog has come out and he's seen his shadow. And they say that when the groundhog comes out and sees his shadow, that there's 6 more weeks of winter and then suddenly spring shall be here. So, fortunately for us, Dan Wooten has come out of his evil lair and he's actually seen his shadow. So, I am more than certain that there is only 6 more weeks of winter and then we can all go back to running our business, right? Right. So happy Groundhog Day, you guys. Let me see here. Princess of Wales has admitted that raising young children is tough, but believes that love goes a long way in bringing up little ones. Is she doing that again? Seriously, is Kate making that same mistake that she made with the Tattler where she admitted she was tired? I sure hope she's not telling people she's tired because the last time she said she was tired, we all know what happened. They went and got their lawyers. They had to run around London and snatch every copy of the Tattler off the shelf. They changed the online upload. She admits that is tough, which is the same as tired, tough, all of those things. How can you possibly say that you're tired? Number one, you're the laziest thing on 2 feet. Number two, you got a house full of help. And number three, you barely work as it is. How could you be tired? And you know what I just noticed? You know what I just noticed? I saw this earlier. Take a look at that coffee mug. Now, it's not exactly, I don't think it's the pattern. I had to try to take notice of that just now, but I don't think it's the pattern. I forgot what that pattern is called. I think it's called Regal or something like that. You know, the one that Megan had. I had to catch myself for a second. I'm like, please tell me she's not doing the coffee mugs too. But no, I don't think it's the same one. Depressed? What, from having money and privilege all day? I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but come on. I mean, so, okay. Now, here's the famous issue of the Tattler where she was so tired. I mean, and the lady who wrote the story, she was actually a descendant, I think, of the Russian royal family. I forget her name, but she got in a lot of trouble. But she said, look, I just told the story the way it was, like she said it. Verta Sanchez says, now what does she know about raising children? Bananas raised her kids if she was given Prince Louis to love and the attention he needed, he would be on a better path. Don't sit up there and lie. Exactly. It just appears as though they're like strangers to her, kind of like the queen traveling around the world, and then she comes home and gives Charles a handshake. Now, I would like to think that she has a better rapport. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. I think she has a better rapport with those children than the queen did with Charles and Anne. But like right here, you can see this poor young lady. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge top housekeeper has suddenly quit as job became too demanding, according to a UK report. Sadie Rice, 35, packed in her £35,000, or at the time with the exchange rate, it was $60,000 job, when asked to move with them to Norfolk to the Amber Hall to actually from uh, Amber Hall to Kensington Palace. A source at the Queen's nearby Sandringham estate said Sadie's a hard worker, but the job demands got too much even for her. Well, of course, it was too much because she was dealing with one of the laziest individuals that has ever drawn a breath. I mean, look at her right there. She looked like she about to slide out the chair and slide down to the floor because she's tired. She's just tired. She's tired and lazy and pitiful and ain't got no. Oh, man, I just saw that out the corner of my eye. Uh, it just makes you tired and lazy, ain't got no ambition, can't pick out an outfit. And you can see that one particular day she didn't get her famous blow dry curls and waves and stuff. So yeah, it's exhausting sitting around being rich all day, and it's exhausting. So I would be unkind if I didn't say I didn't feel just a little sorry for her. I mean, you can only fill up the day so much by plotting against you know your sister-in-law and your brother-in-law and ordering the help around. I mean, you could fill up a day doing that, right? Making people move back and forth from house to house, and all of that stuff is exhausting. So it should come as no surprise that she's a bit tired. Now, to your point, if there were some type of if there were some type of thing that was seems to pull her down a bit, especially before even 10 a.m., I could imagine that maybe we should look out for a plain paper bag and a miraculously having a glass. Maybe we should look out for that. Maybe in the helicopter or something like that. Maybe there's a brown paper bag back there with some potion, um, and maybe it has a different effect. Instead of lifting you up, it tears you down. So, hi. I love the way those eyes just say hi. Anyway, and then let's not forget, she has the best nannies that money could buy. I mean, they got nannies all over the place. Nannies on the roof, nannies in the garage. Every Range Rover has a nanny. Nannies everywhere. Nannies in the kitchen. Nannies all out on the driveway and stuff. It's nannies all over the place. So it's not like she really has to do anything. So I don't know why she's so tired, but if she says she's tired, then she's tired. She's got good reason to be. I mean, look, she's sitting around spending money all day. I'm pretty sure one of the most frequent visitors is the probably the Amazon guy or something. So she's just tired. And look at there, the flowers in the attic picture. I don't know why that reminds me of flowers in the attic, but every place you turn, there's another nanny having fun and teaching the kids how to do stuff. That looks like Judy Dench, doesn't it? I don't know who that is. That may be his other grandmother. Well, his grandmother. But yeah, weird. I don't know how she could be so tired, honestly. And then, of course, when she does drag herself out the house and she go and sit there at the table in the little chairs and the kids, they ask awkward questions like, "Where's Harry and Meghan?" If you guys remember that day, that was when the kids said, "Where's Harry and Meghan?" And then, of course, there was that day when she let slip her guard when she was visiting that school, and the kids were just like, "Get me out of here." Like a little actor or something. Those kids are like, "Get my agent. I'll wait in the limousine. Get my agent." But yeah, so I can't understand it. But if she says she's tired, she's tired. Anyway, this is a ploy. King Charles opens up Grand Asher Estate, to be used as warm space. So apparently, Dumfries' house. Now, I doubt if they're going to open up the house. They're probably an adjacent property. But as we all know, Prince Charles, now King Charles III, loves this house so much that he was there while his mother was slipping away to the other side. He was there filming an interview with NBC as though he hadn't seen his mama on TV, just like everybody else, looking like she didn't have much time for this world. Instead of, being in the house with her, he decided that he would go and film a television segment for NBC. So that's the Dumfries house. And apparently they think that, what's that? Why do the nannies have to dress and look so crabby? Wouldn't you want a cheery? Oh, you mean with like some Winnie the Pooh scrubs or something? I mean, it couldn't hurt, but I guess, when you're in royal service. Plus, if you notice, let me see, where is that at? If you notice, you know how they like to put the kids in those short pants. It's wintertime and they got those poor kids wearing shorts, wearing their breeches. So it's just a thing, I guess. It means posh. That means we're rich. We're so rich that we can't even afford the bottom half of the pants. I don't know. But yeah, so I will believe this when I see it. And of course, Why wait in halfway through winter? Now you figured out people might be kind of cold. Come on, man. All right. Now, on a more serious note, there was a response to the email that was sent to SANE, an organization founded by, um, what's her name there? Thanks to all who got in touch with us about the mail and express pieces about Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, mental health. Here is the response to our letter to SANE. We've tried to tag as many of you as possible, but do feel free to share. So, if you don't know this, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know what I did. If you don't know the story, this lady, what is her name? Something Wallace, something Wallace. Anyway, Marjorie Wallace. Marjorie had one thing to do, and that was to talk about mental health. And somehow, instead of just staying on message, she decided to use it as an opportunity to, take a dig at Meghan. So Marjorie, who I think is 80 years old, who has been around since, oh boy, she's been around. Dear Mental Health Media Charter, thank you for getting in touch. Before you make any assumptions this is the response, by the way, because, oh gosh, what is the name of the organization? Uh, MH Media. Yeah, MH Media, they took exception, like so many people, took exception to the fact that they were so cruel to Meghan about her, you know, idolizations about that thing that she was talking about on Oprah. And apparently, this particular lady, I don't have the clip right here, she said she didn't like people who used, what was it, the mental illness card or something like that. But yeah, so she, in other words, was saying tough it up, that she didn't like people who, oh, the victim card. She accused Meghan of having the victim card. So a lot of people were very concerned. And in particular, this particular organization, MH Media, was encouraged to say something about it. So, before you make any assumptions based on the distorted and misreported article in the Daily Mail, and repeat in the Daily Express and referenced by iNews Online, you should know the truth of what was said on the podcast. So, in other words, she's going to try to say that she was misrepresented. This woman who has hung around Lord Snowden, the Queen, Prince Charles, she even hung around with Charles and Diana. This lady has been around a long time. She wants us to believe that somehow that she was misquoted. And mind you, it has taken about 2 weeks before she even decided to say, that ain't what I said. So she continues, in this difficult world, I'm sorry, in the Difficult Woman, rather, podcast, Rachel Johnson. Oh, I didn't know Rachel Johnson was part of this. No wonder. Rachel Johnson is Boris Johnson's sister. That's the one who said the thing about Megan's DNA, that exotic DNA mixing with the thin blue blood. No wonder this happened. Now it all makes sense. All this time I had no idea that this had something to do with Rachel Johnson. Now it all makes sense. Now it makes so much more sense, um, knowing that Rachel Johnson had something to do with it. Rachel Johnson, Boris Johnson's sister, was a part of this. So that is why not to take any heat off of this old fossil, but that is why she was speaking so flippant and so freely, because of Rachel Johnson. Huh. A like minded person. I mean, here she is with Charles and Diana. There she is. Oh, by the way, Sane received money from the Prince's Trust. And there she is. She was romantically linked with Princess Margaret's husband, late husband, Lord Snowden. But then she ended up marrying somebody else with money, of course. And so, yeah, like I say, she's been around for a while. As a matter of fact, Noreen, yes, yes. Stop playing the victim. The Duchess of Sussex is told by founder of mental health charity Sane, Marjorie Wallace, Megan hashtag Royal, to read Thursday's Eden Confidential. Richard Eden was the one who reported on it too. But Megan told, stop playing the victim card as founder of the mental health charity Sane, Marjorie Wallace, might be expected to sympathize with the Duchess of Sussex, who has spoken publicly about how she suffered while still working member of the royal family. However, Wallace, 80, is fed up with Meghan's moaning. I don't like victim, whatever it cuts off there. The former confidant of the first Earl Snowden, and I don't think playing the victim card helps. Whatever you're a victim of, and I don't really respect people who take victimhood as a career. The broadcaster, like I said, she's been around. She knows how to get her message across. She herself has been on many a radio and talk show. So the whole thing, I don't know how I missed that before. Rachel Johnson. I don't know how I missed that. No wonder. Now it makes sense to me. So anyway, let's get back over here. Basically, she did not take accountability. It's clear Miss Wallace um, uh, makes no response. There never was, never has walked, would ever talk about someone whom she didn't know or had not given their permission to speak publicly. Later in the edited interview, Miss Wallace, referring to some of her difficulties in her own life, explicitly states this is nothing to do with the Netflix series. So, anyway, she decided to backtrack. It has nothing to do with the Netflix series. I don't like victimhood, and I have never played it myself in life. Still, whether it's about you or not, you are the founder of a mental health agency. You're not supposed to be using that language. Okay, fine. If you're having a conversation with, you say, your good girlfriend or your spouse or your partner, but this is on public radio. I've had terrible times with the children, with my life, with divorce, but I don't really think that playing the victim card helps. What a monster. Oh, boy. Let me see. This is sort of a Stoic philosophy. I think you've got to find your way of living with whatever disability, disadvantage you have. So, in other words, it sounds to me, like she's trying to discourage people from speaking about their troubles. And if you want to shut people down, if you don't want to give people a chance to use their voice, then why would you open up a mental health center or agency in the first place? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, you guys, thank you, moderators, Church Nellie, Lydia Washington, Mo Shannon, Anastasia Isabella, Sherry Ware, Anna Espinoza, Cookies and Creams, Black Queen, Sean, and Lucy Wynn. I am done. Okay. you guys are getting out of here early. So I do think Petal is on, and I think she's taking phone calls today. And I kind of hate to miss that myself. So I'm fixing to go over there so that I can get my phone calls in. Well, listen to some. So, you guys, I am going to put the link to Petal. I'm going to put the pedal to the meadow so you guys can get over there and what do you call it? To hear some live calls. Always a pleasure. So here we go. I am going to peg it to the top of the chats. And let me see. Did I do it? Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. So I have just pegged it to the top of the chat. If you look to the top of the chat, if you look to the top of the chat and click on that link, that will take you over to Petal so you guys can hear some live call-ins today, okay? Okay, I'm not coming back later unless something really big happens, but I do thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you all for trusting me to do this work. It means the world to me. Let me see. Yes, Hannah in Florida. We are done. But thank you. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Last word of the day is yes, Q Ginger Avenger. Sounds good to me. And of course, to our faves, much love and great admiration. To our queen in heaven and our queen in California. Where are those queens? There we go. And perfection. All right, you guys, go over to Petals. I'm going to join you guys there soon as I wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love your tomorrow. You're only a day away. We're taking a trip tomorrow. Oh man, I forgot to turn on my humidifier. No wonder I was getting so Isabel Sanford. George, the Willises will be here any minute. George. Hi, Helen. George, Lionel, Florence. Oh man, no wonder. I need the humidifier. So, okay, you guys, see you over at Pedos. Should be good. I love Call In Friday. Okay, bye guys. Love you.